everyone, this is Nompumelelo Myeni. You can call me Coach Nompumelelo from NM Coaching Firm. Welcome to NM Coaching Firm's YouTube channel. So if you are stumbling upon us for the very first time, you have missed out a lot. So I would advise that you hit that subscribe button. Don't wait any longer. Also hit that notification bell to ensure that you don't miss any other video coming from us ever again. We are on the season of self-mastery. We can actually be on this season forever because I think it is just so important that as a people we are able to master ourselves. I think it will just make a lot of things in our lives easier, that we are able to have control, knowledge, understanding, clarity of all the aspects of our lives, as we discussed, as we defined self-mastery in our first episode. In today's episode, we are going to look at mastering your habits. It's a topic that I know we all don't really want to talk about, but it is very important that we actually do talk about, because habits really do inform our future. You might not want to hear that, but I can promise you, your daily habits have a big role to play on what you become in the future. But now, what are habits? You know, someone might say, I like doing this. Is it a habit? I like doing it. Is it a habit? But to define habits, a definition of habit that you would find, even if you go online, it will say that habits are the daily actions that we do. Now, the funniest thing about it, when I did my research even a little bit further, I found that we do some of the habits consciously and we do some of the habits subconsciously, because that's just about how much we've learned of them and how much they form part of our lives. We don't even consider them habits, which means it is also very important then for us to take stock in terms of what is it that in our lives can actually be classified as a habit. And these daily actions, the one funny thing about it as well is that they often come together and constitute towards a particular creation of what you might just be perceived to be, whereas it's really just small habits of things that you are doing on a daily basis. That really doesn't mean that that is the person that you are, but they are so important because they really do contribute to what we become later on. They inform our lives because they sometimes you get to, you know, when you're a person of coffee and someone will say, I can't function without coffee. It's a habit. It's not really a need of your body or anything like that. You've created the habit into the fact that my body now needs this in order for it to function. You've convinced your body that it needs the coffee in order for it to function. Therefore, it's become part of your life. It's become part of what you do. Whereas how that small daily decision affects your health later on is actually a different case and a different story altogether. Now, to say, I thought this, my body couldn't function without this, and then later on you find out that in actual fact my body didn't need this. It's not just coffee, people. I'm not against coffee. It can be anything else that is out there that you're putting in your body and it feels good for a moment and it forms part of your daily routine. And it also informs our life that we actually, for habits, we actually don't always pay immediately. They always do come back for the paycheck later on, that you've been doing this thing on a daily basis. So they always do return to come back later on. It's like going to gym. You don't see the results today, but as it becomes your daily habit, you start to see the results later on. And that is a positive example of what a habit can actually come out to be, or how it can inform your life on a daily basis. You know, the habit of prayer the habit of reading, the habit of watching television, any other habit that you could actually be developing as part of your life. It always comes back to collect. They say that. I like that phrase, that things always come back to collect, because I'm always watching what am I doing and what am I eating, because I don't want anything coming back to collect in my life later on. So the impact then of the habits and the daily habits is that we find ourselves short-falling or short-sighting in our lives based on the daily little small actions that we take. For instance, someone might have started a long time ago to say, I don't like waking up in the morning. And then eventually they started to say, I'm not a morning person. Can you see how a habit all of a sudden started to become part of their lives? And then all of a sudden they miss appointments when the appointments are in the morning, and they are late for meetings when the meetings are in the morning. That's the later on impact of adopting the daily habits and the daily small actions into our lives. The danger then of not mastering ourselves or not mastering the habits, our daily habits, is that things can then just start happening and we start adopting them as part of who we are, whereas in truth of the matter is they don't actually belong there. It's just that we have done them long enough for it to feel like, yeah, that's me. I don't like waking up in the morning. I'm not a morning person. That's me. I don't talk when I wake up. I'm kind of cranky and grumpy. And those are just things that we have, the habits that we had, that we have developed now into being a part of our lives and a part of who we are. Those are the things that we can change. I often say that to people, that identify your habits as the things that you can change, or the things that you see the need to change. Someone might say, I'm not a morning person, but I feel like I'm missing out a lot by not waking up early in the morning. Therefore, they have identified a need to change a particular habit in their lives. That's what is important, to identify a habit that is not working out for you, because habits can be good, habits can be bad, but the ones that are not working for you, you need to be able to identify and be able to see the need to change them so that you can then change them. In self-mastery, mastering your habit also plays a critical role, because remember, self-mastery is based on mastering yourself towards a particular vision and a particular goal, or a particular person that you see yourself as in the future. Now, when you don't master your habits, chances are you're gonna do things that are going to sabotage your vision. You're gonna do things that are gonna sabotage your goals. You won't be able to achieve your goals. For instance, someone that has decided that they need a particular degree in order to get somewhere in life, but if they don't change their habits and they keep missing submissions because they want to sleep early and they want to watch a particular series, then they might just find themselves having difficulty achieving the goal. That is why our habits are so critical and so important towards self-mastery as a whole. What is the benefit? Somebody might just ask. But I like my life. I like how I like the way things are done, even though I can see the change. So what would be the benefit of me changing this? It's so important that I can't tell you what your benefit might be, but I can identify in myself, which means you can also identify in yourself what the benefit of changing small daily habits might be to you. Somebody might just say that they want to introduce a new habit. Perhaps they want to start running, to keep healthy and to keep fit. And that is an introduction of a new habit into your life, which might be hard, which might be difficult. But when you focus on the why do you want to do it? Why do I need this habit in my life? Then the why is able to sustain the reasoning to be able to start. It's able to sustain or give you the energy to start. Yes, let me just put it that way, to say the why might or will be able to give you the reason and the energy to start. What is it? Why do I want to do this so much? Why do I want to start reading so bad? Then you, in that why, you'll be able to then say, okay, in order for me to achieve this why, I need to start introducing this habit into my life. I need to start reading because I want to be a better coach. I need to start reading because I want to be a better preacher. So all these things must always inform a particular why in order for new habits to be beneficial into your life. It is very important. It's not easy. I find that can be quite difficult to introduce a new habit onto your life when you don't have a why. When you're doing it for somebody else, you stop quickly. When you're doing it to impress, then you find yourself having a difficult time, because then the other person is not as impressed as you thought they will be, or your actions are not as impressive as you thought that they would be. So it's very important that the why comes from within. It doesn't come from externally, but it comes from within. So let me say it again. When you are introducing a new habit, it is very important that the why comes from within rather than the why coming from the outside, because the one that comes from within, you can sustain. You've got the reasoning, you've got the understanding, you've got the knowledge. But the one that comes from outside is dependent on whether the people that you're trying to impress, whether the crew you're trying to fit into, whether the cycle you're trying to fit into accepts you or not, is impressed with you or not. So if they are not, then you might just not be able to sustain that habit in your life. Good habits are good for us because then they impact positively towards our vision. Bad habits are bad for us because they impact negatively towards our vision and what we are trying to achieve and what we want to be in life. It is very important that we are able to identify what is it that we do daily. Habits don't have to be something that you do once a year. They are small and they are daily. They are little. You might miss them. So it's very important to pay attention to yourself, to pay attention to your conversations, to pay attention to your conversations that you have in your head, to pay attention to the things that you are doing on a daily basis, so that you can identify those habits that are working for you and those habits that are not working for you, that are working against you, that are working to sabotage you, or that are working to derail you from being able to achieve your dreams. So for today, that's it. That's what I wanted to share with you. And I hope that you are continuously following our channel and you've hit your subscribe button and you've hit your notification bell for more content that is to come. Thank you. See you next time.